مرحبا جميعا, hello zusammen, всем привет, and hello everyone. Welcome back to a new episode where we solve starting point tier 0 machines, and in today's episode we're gonna solve a very easy Windows box on HackTheBox called dancing. So let's get started. First of all, you can run the machine and connect through the VPN. If you don't know how to do that, make sure to watch the previous episodes from this playlist. Then you connect through the VPN already, and we try to ping the machine and we are reaching it. Then I would export that into a variable called IB and ping the IB to make sure it's already overwritten in this Tmax panel. Then let's read the tasks. So usually how would I solve that without reading the tasks is typing nmap, and I've explained that previously. You are defining few flags in order to check open ports on that machine. So we see 445, which is SMB, 139, 135, 49667, 5985, and so on. There are a lot of open ports. These are mostly would not be beneficial for us. We would focus on this port and this port. I believe it's when am I would say. So we are scanning overall 11 services, and you can press enter to check how much is already done. We need about 63 seconds, so we can read the task for now. First task would be, what does the three-letter acronym in SMB stands for? So the acronym actually stands for Server Message Block, which means we are gonna focus a bit on SMB and which port uh, does SMB use to operate at. So we can see over here Microsoft and NetBIOS on 135 and 139, and we can see 445 open, and WinRM is 5985 and 47001, and here we can see Windows RPC open ports. So we would mostly focus on these four ports, more precisely on the SMB. So we see that is open, and that's it. Although we have run nmap with the scripts, but we don't see much stuff running. We can either specify SMB scripts through nmap specifically, but I will not dive into that. Maybe in a specific nmap video I would do that. And we can check either by Netexec or by smbclient or by smbexec. So first of all, I would like to start with smbclient, and you can type either 4 or 2 backslash and -n for anonymous and -l for listing the open ports. So we see nothing. Let me define that before and check if that makes any difference. And we see the open shares that we can reach. And we can do, I believe, the same thing using Netexec, SMB, IB, then you can type --shares. I cannot recall if it is share or shares, so it's probably shares. And we need to provide --username. I believe it is -u, and -p, and you provide like this, maybe small letters, and here we are. So we are trying to authenticate as this username and this password. So I would try to guest to authenticate as guest, and we are authenticated, and we see we have read access over IPC, which is a default thing, and work shares we have read and write. So probably we can get a flag from there, or even a remote shell. If someone visiting this share, then we can get a shell through that specific user. So we can connect. I don't believe Netexec has any internal feature to connect to an SMB share, so we would use smbclient for that. And instead of -l, I would remove that, but need to keep the -m before, and then I would type work shares. And now we are in. We can type ls. We see amy.j, james.p. Let's try prompt of binary of. Is it binary of? Let's try mget star. So we cannot, because it has listing. We can type a command to list inside directories and download the stuff, but I will not complicate that. So I would just move into that directory, and we see work notes. We can type mget, or more precisely get and tab for autocomplete. Then getting back, let's see if we can list everything. So it's the same thing. We need to go inside that, and we see a flag, get flag. So you can actually, using bash, enumerate everything inside these shares or folders or whatever you call them, and download the files. But for now, we'll stay like that. Let me check. We have the work notes, and we have the flag. So start Apache server, secure the FTP server, set up WinRM on dancing. Okay, let's get back to our work. So what port does SMB use to operate at? We can recall that by 445. And what is the service name for port 445 that came in our Nmap scan? I would just copy paste that, which is here. So we can see it's Microsoft DS without the question mark, of course. What is the flag or switch that we can use with smbclient utility to list the available shares on dancing-l? How many shares? That's why I prefer to solve the machine, then solve the tasks, because we have already, I believe, almost solved all the tasks only by practicing that. So how many shares are on dancing? Probably 4. What is the name of the share we are able to access in the end with a blank password? It is work shares. Maybe we need capital S. Yeah, it was capitalized automatically. And what is the command we can use within SMB shell to download file we find? Get. And we need the root flag. Here is it. Copy and paste. So that was it. Thank you guys for watching. Please make sure to like, share, make a comment and subscribe, and see you next video.